Welcome back to Grunt Proof. I'm Randall. We're out here in the rolling hills of Germany. We are talking about my first ever ultralight tent. If you followed me at all, you know how I feel about ultralight stuff. So, is this tent the first ever ultralight tent I have laid my hands on? Is it grunt proof, or did I destroy it within the first day? Stand by. Welcome to my first long-term review. As you guys know, for any kind of shelter or even blankets, I like to do a very specific and infamous test. That is my hang test. The problem, however, with this PyraOmm is it is shaped like a pyramid, so I was not able to hang it up and put weight on the ends to simulate long-term, heavy and dynamic loads on the tarp. That would have been an unfair test. So what I did instead was I decided to test this tent for an entire year. Multiple camping trips, all kinds of abuse, or just leaving it set up for long periods out in the elements in my backyard. One of the first rules of any tent is to not leave it set up for an extended period. Guess what? To test the long-term durability of this tent, that's exactly what I did. Liteway has a ton of products, so I recommend you go check out their website for anything specific. Today I'm focusing on the PyraOmm Solo Tent, which is essentially an ultralight tarp. I also got the mesh sent out to me as well. That makes it a tent. You can now get this in OD green, but last year when they sent it to me, all they had was gray. And this thing is so freaking light, you can fit in your cargo pocket. Two critical things about this product: it is not a freestanding tent. You do need some kind of ridge line coming off of trees, or sticks, or trekking poles. This is all new to me, so I actually had to go out and find some cheap trekking poles to play with. It is also a 3-season and single wall tent, so even though I camped with this in the winter and heavy snow, it's not recommended to do that. Besides keeping the rain and snow off of you, it's not going to be a warm tent, and it's not going to protect you from freezing your butt off. You will also get a lot of heavy condensation in the colder months. I've found that sleeping with their upper vents open, as well as the entire door, it'll help mitigate that. But if you're sleeping with down sleeping bags and you don't have a bivvy or something over those to protect them, you might be bumming in the middle of the night. So tonight we're going to have a low of 22 Fahrenheit, which is about -5 Celsius. And we're going to have about 89% humidity. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. The ground is already nice and frozen and frosted. And come morning time, it's going to be a deep, hard freeze, serious frost because of the humidity. So I am liking this tent so far. It's very cool. Extremely light and small to pack up. Very easy to set up. You know, I'm not really an ultralight type of camper, and this kind of system was new to me, using hiking poles and everything. But I picked up the system, and now I can set the whole thing up in about 5 minutes. So that's very cool. If a dumb grunt like me can figure it out, you know, pretty much anybody can. So very cool. Although each product comes in its own stuff sack, I've actually been able to put both of them in just one stuff sack. This entire system is extremely compactable. Like I said, you could actually fit this in one of your side cargo pockets. For the stakeout, they actually use this very thin, ultralight, yet very strong Dyneema cord, which they give you plenty of those for all kinds of different setups. And it's an interesting system that I hadn't seen before, but I was able to pick it up fairly quickly. And there are plenty of stakeout points on this tent all around. If you're going to use trekking poles, they actually include this little A-frame connector to put over your poles. If you lose that, you actually could use the handle part of your poles. It just won't be as easy to set up. The inner mesh part simply clips up top in the tent, right where it connects to the poles. And I learned that it's better to actually leave that hook installed up there, so all you have to do is feed the shock cord into the mesh part. Otherwise, it's pretty tricky to install. And of course, if you're just a tarp camper like I am in the deep winter, you can just set up the tarp freely and you're already good to go for camping. The mesh part simply clips onto all four corners on the outside of your tent. There are many ways to do it. I think they recommend that you clip it to the little nylon part coming off of the tarp, but I've had no problems clipping it right onto the Dyneema strap that comes off. It's just been easier for me. And all this stuff is so light, it actually kind of seems a little bit flimsy, but I have to say in about a year I have not babied any of this and I haven't ripped anything. Liteway's claim of 2-meter water resistance holds true, and I was honestly impressed with how well this thing handled the wind. Even if I lazily set it up with the trekking poles, it would still perform fine. And you guys know how I feel about crappy zippers, and I put these to the test. Even in a deep freeze or after a heavy frost, I absolutely abused the zippers on purpose and had zero issues. So you guys see all the ice crystals? This thing's been sitting out in the deep winter for a couple weeks. It's been sitting outside for a couple months. Nice and frozen, beaten up. Both zippers still function no problem, even in a long deep freeze. Look at all those crystals. I am very impressed with this tent. As small and light as it is, it's a beast in terrible conditions. This is the 10th and final camping in this tent, and yep, this thing's been pretty badass. So you guys know me, I don't baby gear. This thing has definitely been sitting out here through some snow, heavy rains, winds, and all I've done is come out and check the tent stakes every now and then and kind of tighten it back up. But no rips or tears in this deep freeze. And every day I come out here and manipulate the zipper without dusting it off or anything, not trying to baby it at all, and no problems. All right, guys, on a final verdict. Liteway PyraOmm solo tent is grunt proof. Definitely outstanding freaking tent. For the price and definitely the weight and how tough it is, this is an all-around badass tent. Now, I would love to get my hands on their super duper Dyneema one that's already seam sealed and everything for you. I might save up some funds and try it out. If you guys know of another tent similar to this that I should check out that is definitely tough, let me know and I will see if I can get my hands on it. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna eat some lunch, enjoy this lovely view, watch all the busybodies down there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and as usual, till that next video, I will see you guys in the outdoors. Take care of yourselves.